right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching us right here on Urban Minds. Of course, Olufemi Bisoye joining us right from our Abuja studios. Can you hear me? How are you doing? Olufemi, can you hear me?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, very well.
Good afternoon, I can hear you.
All right, awesome. I want to talk to the 10th Assembly, which is coming. We're still at least about a month away from the 10th Assembly being inaugurated, but there's already so much drama that's been thrown up, especially with regards to the principal officers. So many names have been thrown into the hat. We're hearing of Senator Jules Okalu, Senator Sani Musa, Senator Godswill Akpabio, Senator Dave Umahi, Senator Osita Izuna. So many of these names have been thrown into the hat. But we started hearing talks about a consensus candidate for the APC, that Akpabio might be the one, but nothing is confirmed yet. We've also heard talks about, you know, all the opposition parties trying to come together to pitch a candidate. Are you surprised at how sort of intense already the drama has gotten when we've not even inaugurated the president yet?
Well, it is expected, because if you look at the build-up towards the APC primary, it was also intense. So, and a lot of people are saying the equity and the level playing ground that occurred during the primary should also be allowed to occur during the 10th Assembly, most especially the Senate election. And of course, we cannot deny the fact that maybe people are beginning to see that for us to have a progressive Nigeria, the legislative arm of the government is very, very important, and they play a crucial role. And this is why we've seen people of capacity, so to say, have shown interest. In as much as, you know, we looked at it like some people showing interest from other regions or of the country, which it shouldn't be. But then, since it is an election, it has to be open for everyone to show interest. However, we also, as general public, as Nigerians, we need to also monitor the situation of things, how it's going, and of course, let them understand that we are also interested not just in who becomes the commander-in-chief, but also who becomes the number 3 citizen of the country.
So I know, I mean, there's a lot of talk about the zoning of that particular position. Many people have said the Southeast needs to get it because, I mean, the two other major tribes have occupied the presidential and vice presidential positions. But then, of course, there's the South-South candidates who are saying, well, it should just come to the South, and whoever from the South should get it. You know, do you think that's going to be a huge factor? And is it going to be a bit of a problem for the Southeast candidates? I think there's just about 2 or 3 senators from the Southeast, you know, giving the numbers that they will be needing to push for such an agenda.
I think it's a big factor, and of course, we need to also understand that Nigeria is a multi-ethnic and multi-religious society, and things have to be balanced. We've already had the president from the South and the vice president from the North. Specifically, we have the president from the South, from the Southwest. We've got a Muslim president and, of course, a Muslim vice president. So for equity, fairness, and balance, you know, understanding the fact that coming from the 2023 general election, the polity has been heated along religious and ethnic line. We've seen some candidates playing the ethnic and religious cards. You understand? So it is important we balance it by making sure the number 3 citizen of the country, which is the Senate presidency, goes to a Christian South. A Christian South, so that we can have a balance, so that the Christian faith, you know, we've seen pastors come out during Sunday services saying things that they are not supposed to say. So, but then when they now feel that, okay, we have not been involved, we now have one of us who is now the number 3 citizen, one of the most important decisions in the country, I think that will dose this tension. And of course, if you looked at it, like I always tell people, politics is not by emotion. Politics, it's about data, it's about fact, it's about, how will I put it? When it comes to anything political, you throw emotion away and you bring in the fact and who will be loyal to you. What do I mean by that? If you look at the last presidential election, from the southern region, the Southwest had the highest number of votes. And the zone with the highest number of votes is the South-South. And of course, the South-South, they have candidates for the Senate who have shown that they have capacity to make it happen. And if you looked at, since the 4th Assembly, Since the Fourth Assembly, we've had up to 9 Senate presidents. And out of these 9 Senate presidents, the Southeast, they've gotten like 6 out of it. And there's a region who has brought in almost 1 million votes. There's a region in this last election, in fact, a particular state from the region brought up to 240,000 votes, higher than all the Southeast combined. So if we zone, or however, or say micro-zone the Senate president to that particular zone, I think the presidency or the All Progressive Party, or All Progressive Congress, it will be fair enough. Let me just put it that way, it will be fair enough.
Now, so another very interesting race that's also definitely going on is that of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And a candidate has raised a lot of eyebrows, Honorable Hassan Ado Doguwa of the APC from Kano. And he basically said that it's his turn now, almost sort of following the mantra of the president-elect, saying that he did step down for the current Speaker, Gbajabiamila, when he wanted to, or when he won it in 2019. But we all know he has a pending trial going on for alleged murder around the elections this year. And it's raised a lot of eyebrows as to whether that should not be a factor. What does that say about the entire race, about him wanting to run, about, you know, him possibly becoming speaker while that case is going on?
Okay, this is it. We have Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we have what we also call the House Standing Rules. And I think these two important documents technically have not disenfranchised him from becoming the speaker. It is within his economic right. But then we also need to look at the moral aspect of it. You understand, like, okay, as a country, who do we want, or probably how do we want the whole world to see the number 4th citizen of our dear country? He has the right, and like I said, I have opined some few minutes ago that the Senate presidency should be zoned to the South-South, right? And of course, that means we've got the president from the Southwest, the vice president from the Northeast, and the Senate president to the South-South. So which means we have some other regions, like the North-Central. And if you looked at it, during the presidential election, the North-Central also brought in a considerable number of votes. And of course, the Northwest, which is also coming from, he's from Kano, he's from Northwest. The Northwest brought the highest number of votes for his political party. So he has the right to throw his hat in the race. But then it is not left for our House of Representative members, those we have elected, for us to now let them understand that these are things, these are the characters, these are the attributes we want of who will become the Speaker of the 10th Assembly.
I mean, I don't know that it's very easy to make that argument, considering that it's my turn has become sort of the, the theme for this incoming government. So maybe that might just work for him. But let's talk women. We have seen a decline in 2023, which is almost heartbreaking because, I mean, most other countries are making room, you know, opening more doors for women to come into politics. But we are seeing a decline even. Just 3 female senators and 14 House of Representative members, I believe, are female in the incoming 10th Assembly. At a time when there's a lot of talk about women's rights, women need to be represented to push certain agendas and bills to support, you know, their causes. Are you worried about, you know, the shape-up of the 10th Assembly with regards to women?
Well, definitely every concerned Nigeria needs to be worried because sometimes, like I said, this 2023 election, a lot of us, we play different card which shouldn't have been, because we've seen some region giving some block vote to a particular political party, regardless of your gender, regardless of your capacity. And these are some of the things playing out. So if we really want a better Nigeria, we need to look at people based on, in as much as some political parties, they've got what we call the 35% affirmation. Even if you looked at it, how many women actually got the ticket for their political party, as in the expression of interest from the primary stage? None. And of course, you can't really impose or force them to come into the mainstream. As it's popularly said, said that power is not served a la carte. So we need to encourage our women to what? Show capacity. And of course, you saw what happened in Adamawa. Of course, in as much as we want women to be included in government, we want them to, to come to the mainstream, to break the glass ceiling, it has to be the proper way and proper channel. You understand? But at the same time, that APC governorship candidate have shown capacity that she has what it takes to resume power. She has what it takes to govern a state. So if she, of course, tried again the next election cycle, it might be her turn. Just like we have the proverbial and the most popular Emiloko in this build-up towards 23 general election. So we are all concerned. In the Senate, we have only 3. So we need to encourage our women. Don't be afraid. You have to do it afraid. You have to get involved. And you have to show capacity. Because no one will just shift away and let you say, because you are women, you should come in. No. You have to show capacity that you have what it takes to lead us, probably, to represent either your district or to represent your, what's it called? Your constituency, your federal constituency at the House of Representatives. All these factors needs to be put into place. And of course, women will definitely have the chance moving forward. Okay,
let's look at the Senate now, because sorry, the House of Representatives speakership. Just to go back to that, because you had said, we have a Muslim president and vice president. Is there any argument in any way for a Christian Senate president and speaker? If that argument is put forward, is this something that should maybe sort of assuage a lot of people who are sort of hurt by the way things have turned out? Does it matter that much, you think?
Well, maybe it doesn't really matter that much. If you look at those who have shown interest in the speakership of the 10th Assembly, what people are really focused on, of course, the Senate is more powerful and, of course, is senior, let me put it that way, than the House of Representatives. So when you look at those who have shown interest to become the speaker, we've got some sizable number of people from the North Central, we've got one from the Northwest, we've got some people from the, from the Northeast also. So that is open to whatever comes out from the Senate. So if the party now decides finally that we are zoning the Senate presidency to South-South, of course, automatically we have a Christian from the South-South, and APC has a ranking senator in the person of Senator Godswill Akpabio, who was a former minority leader. They call him the uncommon governor and all that. So that we can now look at, okay, that of the House of Representatives, the speaker could be a Muslim or a Christian, as far as we consider other zones like the Northwest, the North Central. Those are the 2 major zones. And yes, and the Southeast. These are the 3 major zones that will now need to be considered in who becomes the Speaker of the 10th Assembly.
All right, thank you very much. I think we're all looking forward to this. I would have said, let me find out who you're placing your bets on, but I think I kind of know where your head is leaning. We're going to look forward to, I think it should be around June the 10th, or around then, that we'll be finding out the leadership of the National Assembly coming up. Thanks a lot for joining us, Olufemi Bitoye.